This video will discuss the use of student response devices, also called clickers, as a classroom tool. What is a clicker? Is it a remote control, a testing device? How can educators use it to create authentic learning? A clicker, as you might call it, is an audience response system that allows students to communicate responses to teacher questions with a simple answer, such as would be on a multiple choice or a true or false question or a poll. Clickers are basically the 21st century solution to raising your hand or holding up a flashcard, or an even newer version of a Scantron test. So how do clickers work? Each student uses a clicker, a portable handheld device that allows students to vote by clicking on the appropriate button for his or her choice. Each instructor uses a receiver that collects votes sent by student clickers. Light and portable, the receiver is powered through a computer's USB port. So the instructor presents a question and enables polling. Each student responds by clicking the appropriate button for his or her choice. A wireless signal is sent immediately from each responding clicker to the receiver. The receiver, through the clicker software, logs and stores the data of each individual student. The instructor can then display voting results in a graph to the audience. So let's look at some of the pros and cons of clickers in the classroom. So some of the benefits of using student response devices include immediate feedback for students. The device allows teachers to gauge student understanding quickly, and it works really well with larger class sizes. Another benefit is that it allows for quick grading, so you can take scores directly from the results and put them into your gradebook. So you can take a quiz on there and it goes straight into the gradebook. It also gives all students a voice, even the quiet students. According to a study in 2007, one of the best features of an SRS is that it allows students to provide input without fear of public humiliation and without having to worry about more vocal students dominating the discussion. So everybody gets a chance to participate. It also increases student participation, so clickers integrate a game approach that may engage students more than a traditional class discussion. So let's take a look at some of the cons of using clickers in the classroom. So one of the biggest issues is the cost when thinking about using clickers in the classroom. The average cost for one clicker is $75. Another drawback, as with any form of technology, is technical difficulties. So if a student's grade is attached to their participation through the use of the clickers, students and teachers both can get frustrated if it's not working correctly. Which leads us to our next point, that there needs to be training for both teachers and students on how to correctly use the devices. Teachers need to stay up to date on the technology and go through training on how to use the devices, which does cost money. So one more drawback is that the iClickers are not effective for opinion questions. Teachers can use them mainly for multiple choice or true and false, but you can't do an open-ended response. However, if used correctly, the use of clickers can inspire class discussions, which adds to the overall effect. However, overall, I think that the clickers are a really good tool for teachers to use as an assessment of student feedback and to also guide teaching instruction, so to look at how your students are doing to see if you need to revisit something or if you can move on. And it really helps to engage students. For my class, I plan on using clickers during PowerPoint presentations. I've noticed that after about 10 to 15 minutes of lecturing from a PowerPoint that I start to lose student engagement. So I think if I add in a couple clicker questions, it will bring those students back and get them back and engaged in the lesson. Thank you. I hope that this video was informative and helpful as you begin to explore different technologies to use within the classroom.